or like as Honor mentioned, like an office budget, where there's some risk. If it leaks, it's not terrible. It's not the end of the world, but you want to be careful. What pieces would you need to have in place to make sure? Like, what would you want to make sure of to make sure that like this doesn't be damaging to you? Give you the comfort.
I think I'd have to have more comfort in who I'm really dealing with, because we're not seeing this person. So, everything that they're putting in, they could be anybody from anywhere. I don't really know how well they've vetted the individual on the other side. Could be our competition for all I know. So that would be one. So even if they didn't copy and paste it, is it information that we just don't want out there into someone else's hands? That would be one. And two would be that, as in anything in life, if there was a breach of confidentiality, are they indemnifying us?
Sorry, yes, I missed that. If there was a breach of confidentiality, then what?
Well, that we would be indemnified.
Okay. Got it. So if there were a contract, for example, that put in place, like, okay, this is secure work, we're doing an NDA of some sort, this is enforceable, and like the person is liable for some amount if that NDA is violated, that would give you more confidence?
Yeah.
Got it. And then from a tools perspective, like, what if, what would need to be in place there?
Well, I mean, I think it was what you were alluding to. If there's some confidentiality or some way that confidential information is secure and can't be copied, can't be moved, can't be forwarded, all of that, that would be helpful as well.
Okay, great. And then now we want to go and take a little bit of a different lens, from a specific project to looking at kind of the cross-company or, the different projects you specifically might be leading with gig workers. As we think about those, we think it roughly breaks down into kind of like three parts. One is kind of like the relationship management with with the gig workers. Then second, there's like a billing component to it, like procurement on your side. And then finally, there's more of a management component. So how do you manage and track all those different gig workers? So I'd like to go through those pieces individually. We'd like to start just, since we've talked about the work, the project management component. Like, how do you actually track all these gig workers?
So the project management, it would go underneath the project manager that was working in that department or that area. So it would be like as if there was any other worker within the mix of a larger project, then that individual, that manager, the other person or a project manager would absolutely manage the product when it was coming in, the quality assurance of it, all of those things.
Got it. And then have you worked with those project managers at all or no?
Have I worked with project managers?
Yes.
In company, yes.
Okay. Basically what I'm getting at is like, one of the things we'd heard about is like kind of tracking all those projects and seeing where they are and like how well they've been doing is challenging because you kind of have to like continually be emailing people and reaching out for more information. If there was some way to kind of like integrate that into one tool where like, let's say you sign on to, are you familiar with projects like software from Microsoft?
Yes.
So if there were a way, for example, within projects to like sign on and see like, oh, okay, I have, 10 gig workers working for me, each one working in a different thing, and how far they've gone and how far they have yet to go. Would that be of help, or is that kind of like a very minor concern on your part?
I mean, it could be a help, but generally one project manager isn't having that many gig workers doing it, but it could be helpful, sure.
And then the second piece is kind of on that note. You wrap up with a project, you have a lot of different people who you've either hired or, are hiring. As you think about